When we think of Vikings, we often conjure images of ruthless raiders and bloodthirsty warriors, their longships crashing through stormy seas on their way to plunder. But was that the full story? Was their legacy only one of fire and fury? Or is there a more complex, more fascinating truth hidden beneath the legends? Join us as we journeyed back in time to separate the myths from the reality of the Viking Age. Pop culture has painted the Vikings as savage pirates, defined solely by their brutal raids on unsuspecting monasteries and coastal villages. The image of the fierce warrior in a horned helmet charging into battle is deeply ingrained in our collective imagination. Yet, those iconic horned helmets, they're a complete myth, a romantic invention of 19th century artists. While raids were certainly a part of their history, violence was only one chapter in a much larger saga. These were not just destroyers, they were builders, traders, and explorers who fundamentally reshaped their world. To understand them, we must look beyond the battlefield and into the heart of their society. Far from being isolated barbarians, the Vikings were master navigators and incredibly skilled traders. Their iconic longships were not just vessels of war, but also vehicles of commerce that connected vast and disparate parts of the world. Animated maps reveal a sprawling network of trade routes stretching from their Scandinavian homelands across all of Europe, deep into the Byzantine Empire, and even reaching the bustling markets of the Middle East and the legendary Silk Road. They weren't just taking, they were exchanging. Furs and walrus ivory from the frozen north were traded for shimmering silks from the east, exquisite glassware from Francia, and gleaming silver dirhams from the Abbasid kingdom. They were the great connectors of their time, a vital link in a globalized medieval economy. Their spirit of adventure wasn't confined to trade. The Vikings were, without a doubt, some of the most daring and accomplished explorers in human history. Driven by a thirst for new lands and resources, they pushed the boundaries of the known world. Their ships, guided by the sun and stars, carried them across the treacherous North Atlantic. They settled the uninhabited shores of Iceland, establishing a unique society that endures to this day. From there, Eric the Red led an expedition to a vast, icy island he cleverly named Greenland to attract settlers, and his son, Leif Erikson, would go even further, becoming the first European to set foot in North America, nearly 500 years before Christopher Columbus ever set sail. They were true pioneers, venturing into the unknown with unparalleled courage. But the Vikings didn't just visit new lands. Beyond raiding, there were farmers and settlers who built new lives far from Scandinavia. They established thriving settlements and powerful dynasties in places like Ireland, founding the city of Dublin as a major trading hub. They conquered and settled a large part of England, an area that became known as the Danelaw, forever influencing its language and culture. In France, they were granted the land that would become Normandy, the land of the Northmen, and their descendants would go on to conquer England in 1066. They were not just passing through, they were weaving themselves into the very fabric of European history, leaving an indelible mark wherever they settled. The legacy of the Vikings extends far beyond the ruins of their forts and settlements. It lives on in their intricate art, their sophisticated shipbuilding techniques, and their complex legal systems. Their runic alphabet and the powerful sagas and myths of Norse gods, like Odin and Thor, have captivated imaginations for centuries. Words we use every day in English, like sky, window, and husband, are direct gifts from their Old Norse language. Their influence is subtly embedded in the cultures, languages, and even the DNA of many modern European nations. So, as we look back, we see a picture far richer and more nuanced than the simple caricature of a barbarian warrior. The Vikings were more than just raiders. They were traders who connected continents, explorers who discovered new worlds, and settlers who built new societies. They were complex, innovative, and visionary people whose true legacy is far greater and far more interesting. Tantemeet. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed uncovering the truth about the Vikings, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. We'll see you next time.